Okay, welcome back to part 3 of Mr. Ruthier's teaching. Okay, we have our nice little game so far. What we're going to do now is, why don't we add some scoring to this? Very nice. So we're going to start out and we're going to do the scoring from Sprite 3, our little alien dude. Okay. Now the scoring is one of those things that's continuous. It's going to happen all the time, and those are usually under the when the green flag is clicked. And let's just keep everything separate to make the less stuff there is in each section, the easier it is to figure this stuff out. Okay, let's grab ourselves a forever. So this is just going to run over and over and over again. And we're going to say if the alien gets hit by the bullet or touches the bullet, then we're going to get some points. Cool. Okay, so we have forever, and let's grab ourselves a if. And then let's go to the sensing, because it's going to say if the alien is touching the bullet. Okay, so let's grab ourselves the touching. Throw that in there, and then our bullet is Sprite 2. Okay. Hi, kitty. My cat just came in. Then we're going to get 10 points. Okay, so yes, hello, kitty. Okay, so we're going to change the score by 10. Where does that live? Motion? Oh, no, kitty, back off. Oh, the score is a variable. Oh, wow. No wonder we can't do anything yet. All right, I forgot the most important part of this. We need a place to keep the score. Oh my god, cat, get off my mouse. The cat wants the mouse. Okay, that's kind of funny, isn't it? All right, so we need this variable. So let's go, and you can. I was playing with this earlier. Sorry, this isn't. Let's delete this, and then I'll re-add it again. Okay, so just like we have the direction step variable, we're going to make a score variable. So you click on make variable, type in score, hit OK, and there we go. We have the score, and it's set to 0. And now we have, in this variable section, change, and notice we can just say, we can click on that and say score instead. We can say change score by, whatever we want. So if we get 10 points in alien, there we go. Oh, kitty, thank you. Okay, so let's... Good kitty. All right, so let's test this out. I'm all flustered now. Okay, here we go. Move around here, and we will fire, and notice we get 20 points. Oh, I was playing around with sound too. Bother. All right, I'll have to show you how to do the sound in a minute too. Okay, so you notice we hit the alien and we got 20 points. Now the reason we got 20 is because it took a moment for the bullet to pass through it. The bullet actually hit the alien twice as it went through it. So that's another thing we'll have to fix later. Okay, now if we stop our script, hit the little red stop sign, notice the score doesn't reset itself. We start again and we still have that stupid score of 20. So I think you know what we need to do. If we put a score in, we need to start out the script so the score is set to 0. And remember, change increases or decreases in number. Set makes it that number. Okay, and since we're wanting this to set to 0, we're not changing it, we're setting it. Okay, so let's find our set. We'll drag it in, choose score, and we'll set it to 0. Okay, so now we'll play the game, and look, it's set to 0. How nice is that? Ah. And then we fire, and then we get a score. We stop it, we start it again, and now the score sets itself properly. Isn't that delightful? Good. Now, maybe the alien should disappear after we shoot it. We know what that is, right? All right, go to the looks, and there's our hide. So let's try sliding that thing in there. If the alien touches the sprite, change the score and hide it. Okay. Boom. Isn't that cool? All right, looking good. So this sounds good. Now, I had messed with the sound a little earlier. Let me show you how to do that. Sorry. So we pop over to sounds. And I think I attached the sound to our bullet. Okay, and there it is. I'll delete it and start over. Okay, so here's our little bullet. And we need the sound of a laser. So we're going to go over to sounds and we're going to say import. And then we are going to go to our sounds. And then here's our little categories. Electronic is the one we want. And then here is the laser. Laser 1. Laser 2. Oh, that sounds nice. Laser 1 sounds good. And we say OK. Now, if we wanted to, we could go on the internet. We could find the actual sounds of this video game and put them in there. So if you want to do that, great. Okay, so there's the sound, and then we go to our script, and you'll notice that I already put this in. Silly me. Let's do it. Let's watch so you can see me do this. Let's click on the little purple sound, and it says play sound laser 1 until done, and we'll just play that every time the space key is pressed. Okay, so if we press the space key, you can see it fires the laser for us. Isn't that nifty? Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, so those are 2 issues. Now, we have more stuff that we have to deal with. So why don't we get to that? The next interesting item, we actually have to kind of modify the program because I really, when I started adding stuff to this, I saw that it's kind of messed up. Everything works very nicely if we have one sprite. Oh, let's see. And where is our sprite? Here, we'll just our little. We hid our sprite, and now our sprite is missing. Isn't that neat? we need to put some sprites in here. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh. Let's put ourselves some sprites. Alright, maybe we should pause the program here for a moment. Hold on. Okay, I am back. I've got my little sprite in here. And what we want to do, what I actually had to do was bring the show back in so I could show you where this sprite was. Okay, so here's my little sprite. Now, the problem with this game is when I have more than one sprite. With one sprite, this works great. Kind of a boring game, wouldn't it, though? Okay, so let's take this sprite and duplicate it. Now, what's pretty cool about this is as you duplicate a sprite, take a look, you made sprite 4, and if you look at sprite 4, it has all the programming that sprite 3 had on it. Pretty nifty, huh? Now, if I run this program, everything looks great. La 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 la. Come on. And you're going to see in a moment that everything is not so great when we have more than one sprite. So we really need a way. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, that's a bummer. So what we need is a way, when one sprite goes down, for it to tell all of its sprite pals to go down as well. And Scratch has a way of doing that. And it's a really, really neat way, really neat little programming method. It's called broadcasting. What happens is when this sprite goes down, we'll set up something called a broadcast, and it will say, hey, everybody, move down. And all the other sprites will hear it, and they'll move down. It's pretty cool. So let's give this a try. And it's going to kind of change our code a bit. It's actually going to make it simpler. So, okay, the first thing we need to do, let's go to control. And, one other thing I want to warn you about. If you wanted to go in to the costumes of these sprites, and you wanted to have the 3 different kinds of sprites that there are, you know how the on our sprite sheet that we downloaded, there was a sprite 1, sprite 2, and sprite 3. There's a couple more sprites that you could shove in here, and if you wanted to do that, you could import them and bring them in here. Make sure, if you want to do that though, make sure you do that before you start duplicating, because otherwise you'd have to go into every single sprite that you create and fix and do an import, rather than if you import it into the first sprite, then every single sprite after it will have all 3 of these possible sprites, and then you can just pick the one you want. Does that sound all right? Okay, cool. All right, so let's look at this broadcast. So we're going to go to control, and we're going to have this neat little broadcast. And if I click inside and say new, the thing we want to broadcast is move down. Okay, and this is going to tell all of our little friends to move down. So here we have our little if loops that check which direction they're going. When they it checks when it reaches the right side or the left side, and then it resets the direction and it resets the and it tells it to go down. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to pull out this change y by 25, and we're going to attach this change y to 25 to our broadcast. Okay, that's kind of cool, right? We're going to take our broadcast and we're going to bring it in here. So this only, when it reaches the end on the right side, it'll broadcast move down. And when it reaches the left, on the left side, silly thing here, it will broadcast move down as well. Okay, does that make sense? Good. Okay, now we need to tell when the broadcast is heard, what should happen? Well, it should move down, right? It should change by minus 25. So let's bring this in. When I receive, is that what I want to do? When I receive the move down broadcast, then I want to change y by 25. So that shortens it a little bit, a little smidge there. All right, shall we see what we get? Okay, let's crank this up. And there go our 2 little guys. And they hit the end, and why didn't that work? Should that have worked, maybe? Oh. Let's see, what did I do wrong? Why is only one more? Okay, let's pause this video again a moment while I ponder this mystery. Okay, I'm back. And you know why this didn't work? Because I changed Sprite 3, but take a look at Sprite 4. Sprite 4 doesn't have the broadcast stuff that I just did. Bummer. Okay, so there's the danger of working on one sprite and not the other. So let's delete Sprite 4. Okay, so we've got Sprite 3, and I think I've set it up all happy. So now that I've set it up properly, let's duplicate it. Okay, so now I've got Sprite 3 and 4, and if you look at both of them, they both have the broadcast instructions. Hooray, hooray. See, warning, warning. Even the teacher screws up. More often than you know. Okay, let's hit the green arrow. Okay, we're heading to the side, And, oh, they moved down. Beautiful. And they're neck and neck. And they're headed for the second bend in the race. And the white one's in front of the white one. And it's still the same. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's just make sure this works. And hooray! Okay, they kind of come down and over a little bit, but, you know, that's fine. This is good. Okay, so let's hit the stop. All right, we're looking good here. We've got, so now you can do a whole bunch of these. But I want to show you another problem that we're going to have. If we're going to stack these up like in that little game we played at the beginning. Let's hit this, and we didn't tell the bullet to stop for any reason. So let's go over here and fire. And it happily destroys them both. Now, I don't know why it didn't. That's kind of weird. Why didn't it? It should have knocked them both out. Maybe it was moving funny. Okay, so what we need to do, let's bring those little guys back. Okay, let's go back to the looks. Let's hit the show in here, and let's hit the show in here, just so we have these little guys back. And let's test this one more time. And you can see how you can knock out a whole row all at once. Okay, so that's bad. So, what do you say? Shall we fix that? Okay, this will be the last thing we fix. I think this will keep you busy for the whole week. And if it doesn't, fabulous, you know, just keep going. Okay, let's go to the bullet to fix this. Okay, there's our bullet sprite, sprite 2. And let's say we're going to use our broadcast thing again. We're going to say we're going to have the bullet broadcast. When it hits the very first alien, it's going to say hit. And then when that is heard, when the computer hears that one of them was hit, then it's going to stop the script. So let's give this a whirl. All right, where shall we put this? We'll start out with the control. And we will say hold on a moment. Okay, we need to start this script out on our sprite. Okay, so let's get rid of this sprite 4 for now. And then we'll duplicate it when we need it again. Okay, so here's our sprite 3. And what we want it to do is when it gets hit, here's all the stuff for when sprite 2 hits it, you get 10 points. We also want to broadcast this hit. So let's go to our variables. Let's make the hit variable. Oh, I've been hit. Nice. We don't really need to see that, so we can just uncheck that hit, and that goes away from up here. So we'll say we want to broadcast the hit. That's in the control section. Got to remember where everything is. So let's bring that broadcast down, and we'll broadcast hit. Nice. Did I make a variable hit? Okay, that's stupid. We don't need the variable hit. Sorry to waste your time. Okay, the broadcast, it just creates the hit. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, so we're going to broadcast hit. Now, what's neat here is we're on the alien. With broadcast, we can be on sprite 2, and sprite 2 will hear the broadcast of hit. This is a way to have these different sprites communicate with each other. So broadcast really is an important concept to learn. Okay. Okay, so now what should we do after we hear that? Let's bring this in here. When I receive the broadcast hit, what should happen? Well, what we want to do is we want to say up here in this code, if the thing gets hit, then stop this from running. If it doesn't get hit, then let it keep running. Okay, let the bullet keep going until it hits something. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up, this is, when you get to Alice, you'll learn about these. These are called Boolean statements, where you're setting something to true or false. What we want to do is say we're going to create a variable, and when it's set to 1, it means true, and when it's set to 0, it means false. So now we need a variable. So we're going to go up to variables, and we're going to make this variable that will stop the bullet. We'll just call it stop. Okay, so when the hit sounds happens, it means the variable stop should be 0. I mean, should be 1. So there's, because 1 means true. Okay, sound good so far? Okay. Hi, kitty kitty. Now, we need to test to see if the variable is 1 or not inside this little loop that runs our bullet up. So, let's check that. Let's go to our control. And we'll bring an if in. No, cat! Oh my gosh, get off my computer. All right, and we need the operator. We're going to use the equal operator. Oh, sheesh. That's my cat. Okay, let's bring that in. And we're going to say if stop is equal to 1, then the bullet's going to disappear, right? So we're going to go to looks, and we're going to hide the bullet. Does that sound right? And we're going to change the script. I mean, we're not going to change the script. We're going to we are going to stop the script. So let's go to our control, and let's bring in stop script. A moment. Okay, this change y by 10 should still be here, but it should be out of the if. So we'll drop it back down there. And then one other thing remains. Notice the hit never reaches 0 again. So when this space key is pressed, hit should be set to 0. So let's go to our variables, and again, remember the rule between set and change. Set turns something to a number, and change it by a score. So we want 0. We want to start out at 0. Okay. Oh my gosh. I hope this works. Oh, and we've also hidden this poor thing, the bullet, so we better make sure the bullet can come back, right? So let's put a show at the top as well. Okay, let's try out this monstrosity and see if it works. So let's go to our sprite, and we will duplicate it. Okay, and let's test it. There we go. Now I should only shoot one at a time. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back again. It looks like what I did is right here. When I receive hit, what I want to do is turn stop to 1. And we also want to set stop to 1. I left the hit in there. That was dumb. Okay, so we have set stop to 0 and set stop to 1. If any of you caught that mistake before I told you, give yourself a pat on the back. All right, let's try this again. Okay, here we go. No. Oh my gosh, it worked. Okay. All right, that's as far as I'm going to go with this game for the moment. Please feel free to create, 20, 30, 40 of these sprites and see what this thing looks like as a full-fledged game if you want to add a few more sound effects. Have a grand time with this. Oh, you don't need this stop anymore if you want to make that little stop go away, you just come in here and you get rid of that. And please have a grand time while I'm away. Thank you, and be good for your substitute. Okay. Bye-bye. And the cat says goodbye, too.